Hey everybody, welcome to Slash Bash, where today I am bringing you another Choosing Beggar Reddit video. If you are new to the channel, then subscribe and click on notifications so you don't miss out on the fun. In our first story, a choosing beggar contacts a lawyer to get some legal advice. Until he finds out the cost, then he tries to find out what it would cost if they didn't call it legal advice. Let's jump right in. So a lawyer friend of mine got this call recently. Hi, I found you on LinkedIn. Thanks for taking my call. Are you familiar with antitrust law in the XYZ region? Yes, I am. Great, I've been trying to find someone for so long. It's like no one does that. Anyway, I'm one of those new put people together, useless disrupt the paradigm startups, and we have a client who needs advice on antitrust law in the region. Yes, it's a bit of a niche, isn't it? Well, we'd be happy to help. Our rates are X per hour, but we sometimes do fixed fee arrangements depending on the project. Oh, we were hoping to pay a third of the amount per hour? Well, I'm sorry, but these are our rates. You're welcome to shop around, but I think you'll find it's pretty comparable to other qualified lawyers in this area. But couldn't you make an exception for us? I mean, that's the rate for legal advice, right? See, this isn't really legal advice. The client is another useless disrupt the paradigm consultancy startup, and they want to put out informational products on antitrust law. But they aren't lawyers, so legally they can't call what they make legal advice. But obviously they need a lawyer to check their work and explain to them what the law is, so is that cheaper? Well, at my job, this is the hourly rate I charge to do my job, so no. But you could say it wasn't legal advice. Actually, a lawyer advising you on the law is pretty much the definition of legal advice. But they won't be calling it legal advice when they advise their customers, and they won't be able to charge those rates. Well, yes, they aren't lawyers. Look, we don't need legal advice. We just need you, as a lawyer, to explain to us the antitrust regulation of these countries. Again, if you need a lawyer to advise you on a law, it's legal advice. But it won't be! If it's not legal advice, you don't need a lawyer to do it. But we need a lawyer to explain the law to us! What makes this funnier is that antitrust law is basically don't let any one company control too much of the market. So by the time a company is big enough that the literal government is stepping in and going, right, you're getting too big, I guarantee that company is hiring actual lawyers and not crap knockoff business advisors. Story 2 shows us a choosing beggar who is given a microwave for free. She turns around and tries to sell it back to the person who gave it to her. My first post here, but honestly I must have read at least 1,000 entries both here and on the Brazilian Facebook group with the same basic idea. Unfortunately, I can't post pictures of the conversation for you guys as it's all in Portuguese. On to the story. I am a young adult living on her own and trying to cut corners where I can. My first microwave I bought used for a third of the price of a new one, and it lasted me 3 years. Because I had such good luck, I bought my second microwave used as well. It was a super old one, very big, but worked fine. Within days, it stopped working, so I called the secondhand shop I bought it from, and they came and fixed it free of charge. Turned out they just had to change the buttons panel. The microwave continued to work fine for months. I moved apartments and almost never used the microwave, and then it started acting up again. Since I hardly ever used it, it wasn't worth the trouble to get it fixed or the space it took up in my tiny new kitchen, so I announced on Facebook that I was donating a microwave and carefully explained about the iffy panel. I know, everyone here always says to sell for cheap as heck, but not to donate because people are crazy. Unfortunately, I didn't listen. A woman wanted it and came to pick it up immediately. When she came to my house, she looked around a lot and once she left, texted me saying she was pregnant. That much I could tell myself, she was pretty far along. And unemployed. and she asked if I had anything else to donate. I told her I didn't at the moment, but would let her know, and then I deleted her number. That was in December. This week, she texted me asking if, get this, I wanted to buy a microwave that works fine, but the panel is broken. She didn't say it was my microwave, so I honestly don't know if she even remembers me, if she sent a mass text or what. Honestly, I have never been more speechless. Because this woman knows where I live, I was very polite and said I didn't need a microwave at the moment, but thank you. She's like, oh, but I really need the money. Not my problem. Do you know anyone who wants it? And I'm like, no, I'm sorry, but try Facebook maybe. Guys, people are so annoying. In story 3, we have a choosing beggar in the military who thought that a 90% discount just wasn't good enough. So a while ago, I used to work for a giant ski resort in their call center. At that time, the company had just launched their military passes, which were $89, and that was for the best pass. People who weren't active military were paying $899 for said pass. Thing is, military couldn't just buy it. You had to send in documentation to a third-party company that verified it for us. They were a company that worked for the military often, so on our end, all we see is approved or not approved. No documents, nothing sensitive. This young military guy calls in and asks if he's been approved and says he has had issues with a third-party company. Now, 90% of my calls were exactly like that, and we hated that company too, so I understood. I asked him to hold while I checked to see if he was approved, and it showed he wasn't. I notified him as such and said he would have to send his documents back in or contact that other company to see what's up. Turns out the wrong name was listed, so in the end he was approved. He just had a few accounts with the company, and I apologized for the confusion but did tell him he was approved after we cleared things up. Now keep in mind, he's paying $90 for no blackout dates. All the resorts, basically he has the best pass the company offers. What happens next just pissed me off. Alright sir, so it looks like you were actually approved. It was just another name. Now you just have to wait for the pass. Seriously, I can't believe it took that much. Can I get some sort of compensation for the trouble this has been? This company doesn't give this in general, and again, he is paying $90 for a $900 pass, so a 90% discount. I'm sorry, sir, but we do not give compensation at all. Seriously? I went through all that trouble and I can't even get a discount or anything? At this point, I'm a little abrasive because I've had it with this guy. Sir, you are already getting a pass for 90% off, so no, we are not giving you any sort of compensation. Have a good day. Jeez. But 99% of all current or post-military I talked to were quite nice. This guy, though. In our final story, a childhood choosing beggar tries to scam our OP out of $85. I know that $85 may not be a lot to some of you, but I was 12 at the time. I'm new to this subreddit, and reading other people's stories made me remember quite a few choosing beggars in my life. This story takes place when I was 12 and just started high school. I made this friend who was very nice. We shared interests, so we got along well. There was a store near our school, so people would always go there after school. I wouldn't go a lot as I didn't work. Again, I was 12, and I usually saved up money so that if I saw something I liked, I could buy it. Also, back then, I don't know if it was just my country, but a large Slurpee cost $3.70 at the time. I would go once a week or so, and when my friend found out, he started tagging along and buying with me. Then came the time when he didn't have money and borrowed from me but paid it back the next day. It continued to happen, and then the payback period became a week. Finally, he wouldn't pay me back at all, and he began to borrow off me even when I wasn't going and started saying things like, "Good friends don't care about money." Me, being the naive 12-year-old I was, I kept giving him money until the day I calculated the amount he owed me, and it was $85. I could have bought Black Ops 3, which was in its prime time. Well, I didn't say anything, but I started saying no when he would ask for money, And I would get replies like, "That's not what good friends do, they help each other." I usually replied with, "Well, I don't have any money anyway. You borrowed a lot off me, could you please pay me back?" And he always delayed it until one day when I finally grew a spine. This is how the confrontation went. "Hey man, you have been buying a lot of Slurpees and you owe me $85. Come on, that's just bull stuff. It's not that much." "Yes, it is. I could have bought Black Ops 3 with that money, but you used it." "Well, I'm not paying you back." "What the flip? Why?" "Because friends don't do that." "Well, then you need a lesson on friendship because friends don't leech off each other." "Shut up. I'm not paying you. Where's the proof that I even borrowed from you anyway?" "Don't talk proof because that's a game you'll lose." "Shut the flip up. You're a loner, so you wouldn't want your only friend ditching you. You know what? You should pay me for being your friend." What the heck is wrong with you? Do you have a working brain? And as this was happening, a teacher walked up and gave the choosing beggar a detention for swearing. My school was super hard on swearing. That's karma for you. Wow, now you're even snitching. Okay, this is an absurd accusation. How the heck would I have just snitched on you? I never thought you'd be such a bad friend, and I wasted so much time with you. I walked off and I started looking for people who were there when he borrowed money, and I found a witness for almost all of the times, mostly another guy in our group, and I went to the deputy principal, vice principal for the American people, and the matter was resolved. I got my money back and he was landed with an after-school detention for bullying. He didn't talk to me again, and my other friends in the group didn't want him around, so we told him to go away. Maybe I shouldn't have snitched and instead have resolved it myself. But at the time, it was the most effective thing that I could think of. This has been John from Slash Bash. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and want to see more of them, then please hit that subscribe button. We'd love for you to drop a like and share it with your friends, and we will see you in the next one.